The film I'm directing is called Magnificent Burden. It's first time. I'm a first-time filmmaker. I did not get into this process going, I want to be a filmmaker, I want to make a movie. I actually found a story that life sort of led me into, and one thing led to another. I actually was trying to help the person figure out how to tell their story and connect them to the right people. And pretty soon I was like so involved in it that it was like, wait, and we were like, you should just direct this. You're already doing it. It was crazy because I was like, well, I don't really know how to direct a film. And our executive producer, who was a very successful filmmaker, was like, you are doing it. He's like, this is how you do it. You're doing it. And I was like, okay. This story is an incredible story. It's a story about a woman who was a big New York socialite in the 90s, late 80s, and she decides to adopt a kid. And in the middle of the adoption, the FBI comes to her and says that it's a human trafficking ring. And will she go undercover and help bring it down? Which she does. And the courts award her custody of the kid, and it's a big news story. Good Morning America. Happy ending. Courts have given her the kid. He's safe. It's all good. And she then finds out that he has a deadly, incurable disease. Like the #1 genetic killer of kids under 2. No one's ever heard of it. It's this horrible thing. And so she goes on a mission against all odds to save his life. And it changes everything for her. She turns into kind of an Aaron Brockovich-style advocate, going to Washington. And he, the little boy, is like on a hero's journey to beat the odds and realizes that he has to fight to save his own life. And it's their journey. And it's the idea behind it is that the worst, most tragic, horrible thing you could imagine could actually be a gift that transforms your life. Wow. The experience of being a first-time filmmaker, it was probably different for everyone. For me, it was like everything was new. Like I hadn't studied, I didn't go to film school, so for me it was kind of just learning as I go, mistakes and all. And each step of the way was like a new discovery. And for the movie, each step of the way was sort of an unexpected. It was like we didn't know what was going to happen next. We didn't know, and so we kind of were the little engine that could. We kind of joke. We kind of pulled it together and got it here. And it was very exciting to see the results of that. Here we are at Woodstock, and it's a really cool feeling. Great, it's great. My first film festival, so I don't know what to compare it to, but my experience with Woodstock is that it's a great vibe, very relaxed. Some very smart and creative people. You sort of osmosis, you're learning from just talking to people, and it's just fun to be in that festive environment of people who've created, and now everybody's kind of work is kind of getting put out there and shared, and it's really fun. Seeing some more movies. We have our second screening. Our first one was our world premiere, and we have our second screening, so that'll be exciting. That's tomorrow. Just, kind of taking in other films and just kind of, meeting more people. And, again, I don't see it as like I'm coming to learn. It's sort of coming to share. It's like a cool community, and you just learn by just hearing people's experiences and stories and seeing their work, seeing their amazing movies. Great. The best thing about it was how much seeing the audience really connected with it. I feel like our story is a very relatable story in a certain way. It's a very human story, and it really affects people. And it was amazing to see how people just really, the Q&A was the most interesting part. People really got engaged, not just here's a random question. They were really engaged, and it was really inspiring for me to have people sort of feel like this movie touched them in a way that kind of inspired them in their own lives.